channel. If you are new here, my name is Michelle Crisafulli and I've been a first grade teacher for 17 years. Today I've been up in my classroom and I did not get planning done like I thought I was, and you guys have been asking for a plan with me video, so I thought I would go ahead and do it. It's dark outside. I'm in my sunroom slash office and I'm just trying to get it planned. My children are finally going to bed, so it's quiet in the house and I can kind of sit down and do some planning. So I thought I would take you along with me. Let's go. I forgot my tripod again at school, so I'm gonna do my very best to hold my camera and show you my planning, and then I'm gonna flip over to the computer and pull up the documents and the things that I would want to use. That's the plan. So I will try not to go back and forth. I'm gonna try to just plan it out, and then I'm gonna go in and find my resources and plan my resources. I'm gonna try to include all of those in this video. Several of you guys have been asking about interactive notebooks on the computer, and I actually had a couple ideas today that I'm thinking of. So as I'm planning, if I come up with some ideas, I will let you know. So this is the program that I use. It is just GoodNotes. I'm gonna go ahead and go into August. I will say the one thing I do like about the digital planners is I can go back and forth pretty seamlessly. I have some of my pages bookmarked, so that kind of helps me. My husband just let my dog outside and she's staring at me like, Mom! So, and let me say this too. I think I showed you guys my little sticky note that I put in my planner last week of all the things I wanted to get done. I had that in like the dead center of this, and I almost like completely screwed up my week and erased my week by doing that, because when I went to go move my sticky note, it wanted to take everything underneath. So just be wary on that. So I like to have my weekly plan in front of each week. That's one thing that I really liked. And the good thing about the digital planners is I don't have to rewrite this. This was from a couple weeks ago. I'll go through and write some of my like overall statements and stuff on this side and in a little bit, but we're still working on the same standards, so I just copied and pasted it. Now Phonics, I will go in and write in because I don't have those in there yet, but, and then health as well. But other than that, all I had to do was copy the page and paste it where I wanted it. So that was fantastic. I didn't have to rewrite it. So here we go. Here's this week. I was playing around with my stickers earlier and I went ahead and put a sticker in there. So, oops, let me show you how to put a sticker or take a sticker. And because of course we all want the stickers, I think the reason why this is shaking so much is because it's so far. So let me move it over. There we go. And then I can brace it a little bit better. So we all know we like our stickers. So I'm going to lasso tool. And then you just, to move a sticker, you circle the whole sticker. And then you can tap on it. Like the teacher's gonna teach. So let's do that one. So let's tap it, copy it, planner. And we're gonna put that right here. Teacher's gonna teach. Boom. Okay. All right, so it's just fun. So I got some stickers on there now. Let me move my laptop out. So on the planner, I like to start with one subject and go all the way through. So I like to just zoom in. There is the magnifying tool on the GoodNotes. You tap on it and it, like you put the box over it and then you can just write in this box. but my hand hangs off of this and my handwriting gets worse, so I don't like to use it. Very rare occasions that I use it. So I knew last week that I was going to invest in the Perspective Through Picture Books set for Name Jar. I do also like Deanna Jump's Engaging Readers, so I will use those quite a bit as well. But I knew I wanted to do the Name Jar this week, so I went ahead and invested in it. And I will link that down below. So let's just get started. The good thing about these kits is that they put everything in it. So I'm just going to go in and plan. I like to zoom in pretty far. And then we're gonna do, it is previewing vocabulary, I think on the first day. Hold on, I got a message, a weird message. That was weird. Preview. Vocab on the first day, and then it's also, what is it? It's it's building background knowledge with the focus text. So there's building background. And then there's a focus text to it. Our standards that we are teaching this week are still asking and answering questions and using key details from the text. And I will look at our PowerPoints that our district provides, and I will just try to mirror that with just this book. That's kind of how I do it. I just try to mirror what is being done. I try to use some of the same graphic organizers. Sometimes I revamp them a little bit, make them cutesy, or right now I'm just putting them all online. So if I have a good graphic organizer that I use, I will definitely share that. But I will still use the graphic organizers even though I'm using a different text. So Tuesday, we're gonna actually read the story. I'm gonna ask questions so we can work on comprehension. We're gonna do an anchor chart. On story elements. So character setting, that sort of thing. And that's an anchor chart. Wednesday, we are going to do, so we're gonna read it again. And we're gonna dig deeper, so they are gonna do an anchor chart, or I might do a graphic organizer. I need to go back and look at my district stuff, but we're retelling. So we may use a graphic organizer. So I'll just put GO on there. Wednesdays are short days, so everything gets shortened a little bit, about 5 minutes or so, just to make it all work. Thursday, we're gonna do text talk. So I love text talks. We do fancy Nancy words. I don't need that there. I'm just gonna change my color, make it fancy. So we do our fancy Nancy word wall. And then I'm going to try to build them an interactive notebook on reading where they can do this. I don't know if I showed that. I know I recorded some of our text talk from last Thursday, but I didn't have students in the class, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. And then Friday, I know that they always do a debate. I don't know if I'm gonna do that or not. We may do like a name game. So I'm gonna write a couple different things down. I just have to see how Friday goes. So name game, or we're gonna do the debate. I'll just see what Friday holds for us. And I think the debate is something along the lines is it okay to have a name that's different? Again, it's all to kind of depend on how the week plays out with the students in the class. So there we go. Reading is planned. Let's move on to phonics. Zoom in. So obviously I know that every day I'm going to be doing Haggerty. Oh, eyesight just got really blurry. I do love Haggerty, so I'm going to be putting that on every day, and I'm just going to arrow across that. I need to just create a sticker for that, but that's okay. I do need to DSA my kids tomorrow. We did not get to that, so I'm going to put that on here. I'm going to put that in pink so it kind of stands out. But in the meantime, we are going to go ahead and I know we're going to work on short A. A couple of my students that I have at home, I was able to DSA, and they're probably going to be in a much more advanced group. So, which will be good because I can assign them for this block of time. I can just assign them, I can create like lessons and stuff separately and say, okay, go watch me teach this lesson to you guys and then do your activity, go through it. I already know that they're pretty advanced, so it's just going to be a matter of seeing if there's anybody else in my class that is on that level. So I need to DSA them. And we're going to go ahead and start this week. I don't want to lose any more time, so we're going to go ahead and start this week with short A. I think my thing is messed up. I always like to start with a Mr. Thorne, so I'm going to write that in. If you don't know Mr. Thorne, I will link his YouTube site. He is a teacher in the UK, so he has the accent. So you have to be careful when you're doing phonics with your kids because his accent does affect, obviously, the sound and the way he pronounces his letters. He does bring that up a lot in his videos, but the kids just think he's funny, and he has a little giraffe puppet named Geraldine, and they think she's hilarious. So it's just a fun way to introduce letter patterns and stuff. So I follow, and this is something I didn't mention with my reading either, I just try to make it easy on myself. When I would train teachers on reading, phonics, writing, that sort of thing, I always like to follow a pattern each week. So I might use the same big book and then just change what the skill that I'm doing, or I might use just 2 books and change the skill each day. So Monday for reading was always like preview the big book, talk about important vocabulary. I might pull out sight words, things like that. And then we might read the big book if we had time. It was always a big book at first until my students got to be more proficient readers. Now I don't use big books as much. Hopefully this year I can, incorporate some more, but, I do want to continue to make sure the books are easily read to my students that are online too, so that's going to be a challenge. Tuesday would always be either a phonics skill, so like if there was a lot of blends in the story, we would pull those out and talk about those and make a chart of those. If there was a good, maybe the book rhymed a lot. If not, we would work on story elements, keep it very simple. Either do an anchor chart with story elements or a graphic organizer or something. Wednesday was always like more comprehension, so dive deeper into comprehension. By this time, they've probably heard the book a couple days in a row. Dive deeper into comprehension, retell the story, put things in order if they could, that sort of thing. Thursday, I always did vocabulary. And a lot of my friends would do vocabulary first, but I always felt like by this point in the book, I could move it to Wednesday, but by this point in the book, they've heard the book a lot of times, and vocabulary takes longer, so we don't read the whole book. We read like the pages, we do text talk. I forget the author that has text, like that's his thing. I'll see if I can find the book at my school when I go back on Monday, if I remember, or I'll try to link it. But text talks are specific to, oh my gosh, I can't remember right now. Anyway, so I do text talks on Thursday. So it's a specific pattern. And I will try to, like, I know that I videoed part of it, but I try to pull out the words. I only pick 2 words. I always pick words that are like tier 2s. So tier 1 words are too easy. Obviously, tier 3 words are like more difficult words that they wouldn't need, like they wouldn't use in their normal vocabulary. Kids wouldn't really pick up on it. It's words that you can bring up and talk about, but you don't want to do specific explicit lessons with them because they would never really pull them up and use them in their vocabulary. So tier words are like those just right words that we could challenge the students with, but that they might not necessarily know. So I always did vocabulary on Thursday, and Friday we would do fluency or some kind of fun tie-up activity. Sometimes we would do like a comprehension quiz, whatever. I do the same type of thing for phonics. Phonics, I have a very specific day to or week to week routine. So Mondays, I always introduce the phonics skill. We always do the sound features. So we'll put it on the sound wall. We'll look at the way the letter or the letters form within our mouth. So if it's like the aw sound, they would look at that. They would use the mirror, look at that. We would add words to our sound wall. Sometimes we make a chart, especially with the short vowels. So, oops, not mark a chart, make a chart. So we make a chart. And then usually by that point in time, our day's done. Sometimes we write them. Sometimes we do sound cards. So I'll do some like sound spelling cards with them. I don't know how much we'll get to on Monday because DSA does tend to take some time, but we're gonna try. Tuesday, we are going to do a picture sort. I always do picture sorts, picture or word sorts. I always like to sort the feature with them. And then, I might try, oh no, I have notebooks. So they have interactive notebooks. I'm gonna have to send these home with my students that aren't here, I think. So I'll introduce their interactive notebooks. That is kind of crazy handwriting, isn't it? I told you I've got crazy handwriting. Wednesday, I always do a making words. So we build the words. It's just called making words. It's another, I forget who does that, but there's a making words notebook or book. Yeah, I think it's a book. And so you would have like a long word, and then you would break it apart to all the little words that you could make, or you could do like word ladders. So we always do that on Wednesday, so like word ladders. So the whole point of this is going to be to give them their letter boxes. Let me put that in blue. And teach them how to use the procedures of that. Okay. Thursday, I used to do like buddy spell checks on Thursday to prepare them for their test on Friday. But obviously there's not gonna be any of that. After I went through like the science of reading, I discovered how absolutely important decodable texts are. Instead of just doing them kind of haphazardly, I needed to make it more explicit. So since then I've done decodable texts, explicit teaching of a decodable text on Thursday. And I'll look for one of those in just a minute when I go to my resources. So that'll be something, and I'll have to make that digital as well. And then Friday we do a test. Now, since we're not going to have words necessarily, and I can't do a test for my students at home, I'm going to have to come up with something else. I wonder if I could do like a digital sort or digital. Oh, I know. I have those magnetic letters activities. Oh, I'll pull those up. Hold on. Magnetic. And I'm going to put that in letter slides. But they'll have to do independently. Boom. Phonics is done. Whew. So again, with these two, I just always follow a pattern. I do. So like next week, again, we'll start off with a Mr. Thorne video. We'll do our sound spelling cards. We'll do add words to the sound wall, talk about the shape of everything in our mouth, maybe make an anchor chart. So it'll follow the same pattern with whatever spelling kind of feature that I would need. Writing. Oh, and let me say this about phonics. So I like to make sure that my students are getting the skills in phonics that they need. So if they already all know short vowels, then our couple weeks will be very just check in, quick. It won't be as explicit. It'll just be a nice solid review of short vowels before we move into something else. If I have 3 kids that are really struggling with short vowels, don't remember them, whatever, then they will get a lot deeper practice with that. So I'll have different groups. It's just a way that I differentiate, and I think phonics is a really easy way to differentiate your learning. Writing, oh dear, gosh, and I left my book at school. Let's see, let's start with, where did I leave off? I left off, excuse me, as I yawn. I left off, so I know that I'm gonna have to put sight words in there, so let's do sight word. I don't know what the sight words are. I'll look those up in a second. And I'll probably have to do that off camera because that's district stuff. We have district sight words that we follow. I think my mini lesson will be, well, we went through and we did taking our picture and writing sentences from it last week. So we're just going to review that, how writing is just talking. So we'll review that. Yeah, and I might pull up the books that we did and just talk about how they were kind of boring. And if there was words, I don't know. I'll just figure that one out. Picture books. Wordless. Let me put wordless on there because that's not very specific. I'm beginning to love this planner, this digital stuff, because if I was doing this with pencil and paper, it would be a mess. I might model that, I don't know. All right, and then my mini lesson on Tuesday, it's just gonna extend that, and I'm gonna talk about telling a story instead of writing random words. Because I have a feeling they'll go very random with it. And I think we will actually read the book. No, David. Because it's not a wordless book, but it is kind of boring to them. And now it's just time to set up routines. So the routines of writing, how we share, the author's chair. Oh, I'm gonna put my sight words up here. So mini lesson on Thursday. Oh, I think I'm gonna do the book Best Story. And we're gonna start with, I think that, I can't remember, but I think I wanna do like topics. What can we write about? And then Friday, I think it probably will be a catch-up day, but I may introduce journal writing to them. And I'm going to make them an interactive journal for writing, because they're gonna use the journals that I bought them to do their actual writing in, so it's kind of more organized. And we're gonna do a journal write. So I'm gonna post a prompt on the board, and they're gonna have to just journal write in their interactive journal. So it also helps them with typing, that sort of thing. Whew. Okay, let me pause for just a second and I will be right back. So, I just had to pull one of my videos down, and now I'm having to re-edit it and put it up. So thank you to whoever my subscriber is that messaged me, because apparently I put my phone number and information in one of my videos. So that video's gone and I'm re-editing it. So I'm sorry guys, if you happen to catch that. Let's see. So I know we're starting 3D shapes. We did a little bit last week, but 3D shapes was so difficult online. So I think I'm gonna start with the brain pop on 3D shapes. I think I'll pull out the shapes. They won't be able to touch them, but I will pull them out. And I think that we're gonna go ahead and create that anchor chart tomorrow. We might do an interactive notebook thing. I'm gonna put that in blue. We may do it together because my new babies in my room will need help with that. So we may do that together. I think on Tuesday I'm gonna use the book. I think it's called Space Shapes. It's a Stuart Murphy book. And it's a 3D book, or not 3D book, but it's a book about 3D shapes. So I think we'll do that. Trying to balance my hand, y'all, I'm sorry. And then I think we'll do a shape sort. So, oops. Boom. So a 2D, 3D shape sort. I might have a game because I think we're going to be moving on Wednesday. So actually I may move that down a little bit. Boom. I don't know if you guys saw what I just did. Let me see if I can back up and show you much better. So it was up too high and I said I wanted to play the game first before we did that. So I just grabbed my lasso tool, circled it, moved it down. Boom. Okay. My hand is like seriously hurting. I think I have a game. It's a Tunstall game, of course, because I love her games. So I'm gonna see if I have a shapes game. What? Why won't that work? Game together. And then Wednesday we're moving on to shares. So we're gonna be talking about equal shares again. Wednesday is our early day, so we come back from our recess and it's a pretty quick turnaround with math. So we're going to create shapes with Play-Doh, I think. And then cut those shapes. And sometimes I give them a popsicle stick for that, so I might do that. Ouch. Thursday, I think there's a brain pop on Equal Shares. I wish I could bring like a cake in, or you know, something like I've done crackers before, the little brownie squares, the little brownies that you can get from like Walmart, Sam's, that sort of thing, the little round ones. Those would be good, but we can't bring that kind of stuff in, so we're just gonna be creative. Let's see, brain pop, and we're gonna be focusing on, I think, half and fourth. And I'm gonna see if I can find some kind of fun activity. So I'll just put activity, and I'm gonna have to find a work page for that too. So I'm gonna put a blue circle there because I need to put something in there. And then Friday, I think, is our, like, we're supposed to go back and review all those things. So I'll see where they're at with this, and then I'll have to go back and add that in on Friday. So we'll be working on what they need. And this may be when I set up like math stations too. I may work on that. Maybe by Friday I'll have my final numbers. In my video that I just took down, one of you guys mentioned the iris cart. What a fantastic idea. This is why I love YouTube, y'all. That is such a fantastic idea. I may end up ordering that. I'm going to see if my green and yellow tubs will work, because I can take those out. I can have that, like, during my lunchtime, I can say, okay, we're going to be using this, and this tub. So I can do that. But if that doesn't work, I'm definitely going to be ordering that iris cart. So thank you so much for recommending that. I really appreciate that. It's a great idea. And if it wasn't $60, I would have ordered that thing. I'm about to be spending a whole bunch of money tomorrow. So science and social studies and health. What was our health lesson this week? What did we do? Oh, it was the Friends. So we were on like lesson 2 of the Friends lesson in our curriculum. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in here. It's like making friends. It's a specific curriculum that we have to follow, and I know I'm on lesson 2. So, science. Ooh, I hate the beginning of the year science stuff. Y'all, I just hate it. I hate it. So, we're gonna do a Go Noodle, I think. It's the Go Noodle Think Like a Scientist. Just something fun. Get them up dancing tomorrow. Oops. I guess we're gonna talk about how scientists use their senses. I know our curriculum has us doing like a field trip, like a virtual field trip. So we may do something like that. Again, I think I'm gonna have to create a notebook. So let's put it in blue. I hate not having actual notebooks because I think they're missing out on some great skills. They need cutting, they need pasting. I may figure out a way for them to still do some of those things. I may, like, our reading notebook may just be an actual notebook so that they're still doing some of those things. I don't know, and I'm stuck. Our half days here. I don't think I'm gonna have anything in. It'll be early release. I don't know, I'm stuck on my science. I think we're gonna do a science experiment down here. I always like to do a bunch of like science experiments on, oops, that is really yucky handwriting, Michelle. This is why I like the zoom feature. So I'm gonna have to look some things up, see what I can come up with. So we're gonna go to the computer and we're gonna try to find some resources. So here, there's my plans. Now I'm going to flip over into the computer mode and I'm gonna find some resources to go with these things. And I'll just share that. I have to be careful. So it kind of might be a little choppy because I do have some of my district stuff pulled up, but I will show you guys what I come up with. So let's go on over there. So here we go. So first up on my list, I already have the name jar packet. I will show you what all is in that. Where is it? I think it's in my downloads. Go to downloads. I don't think I put it on here. Oh no, I did. Okay, it's right here. Way up here in the top corner. Okay. So in those packets, and I won't pull up everything, but I'll just pull it up. In the packets, there is a set of slides. So this is like super easy because I don't have to do any thinking, which we all know right now we desperately need, right? So there's all the different slides for the days of the week and the focus text that they use to introduce everything. So you can see it's very detailed. So I don't have to do anything except upload that to my Google Drive for my students on Monday so that I can use it all week. And this is the focus text that they do and the anchor charts, that samples that they do. So everything is there. I will just upload that to my Google Drive. I don't have to do any thinking. So this phonics is where I've been struggling last week and this week, and phonics is usually something that I can just do. But trying to make everything I own digital, there's the problem. So I did think earlier what I would want to do with my kiddos and think about probably going ahead and pulling up some short vowels. So while I was editing a video, I was printing off a bunch of stuff. So I know that I'm going to have, are you doing this, computer? My computer wanted me to force quit everything just a minute ago. I know that I'm going to have a Nearpod. And I can't show you the Nearpod because it'll have all my district information on there. However, maybe I can pull it up and I don't know. I'll try to pull one up in just a second. What I put on the Nearpod, I put slides for alpha blocks, and then I put editable screenshots that I created of like these pages. This is from Tweet Resources. So I put them in drawing mode on Nearpod, and they're going to go in and edit. So my struggle was I'm doing short A next week. And so short A includes more than just the @word family. But my whole Nearpod is just the @word family. So I don't like doing that. So I'm going to find something else. I think I'm going to attempt to make an interactive notebook, maybe. I think I'm going to get too many interactive notebooks. I am not going to make an interactive notebook for this because it's going to be too much. Maybe down the road, but no. Let me go to making an actual interactive notebook for you. So this is how to make an interactive notebook. And I'm going to show you the quick version. I'm going to do it for my science because that's the one I'm really struggling with. But I also have my math, so I'll add my math page to it. This is my math interactive notebook. So I'll add that to it. Let me make one so you can see it. So to make an interactive notebook, from what I understand, and I am not an expert on this, I watched some videos on it and I did it and it worked. So I'm going to show you the way that worked for me. You go to Google Slides, you're in your Google, you're in your Drive, you go to Google Slides, open up a new slide. Give it a second when you have your internet being affected by a storm, because it is storming here. I always X out of the themes. I always get rid of those two boxes, so I'm left with a blank slide. And I always set mine up to look like a sheet of paper. So I always go to Page Setup, Custom, and then do 8.5 times 11. And now it's a sheet of paper. So I'm going to name this Science Notebook. I'm going to go ahead and name it. And then this is what you do to make it an interactive notebook where they will only edit certain pages and they will have access to certain things. You go to View, right? No. You go to, you go to View, Master View, boom. Now, whatever you do on the master view cannot be edited by the student unless you specifically select that to happen, from what I understand. And I haven't played with all of the features. Like I said, there are some fantastic videos on YouTube on all of this. I will try to link one of the ones that I watched, but they put in like the actual notebook, like what I had here. This was the one I was playing around with. So I had like, it looks like a composition notebook, and they have tabs and all sorts of stuff. For my science notebook, I am not going to make it that fancy. I'm going to put in, and get rid of those boxes. And I'm going to put in a background, and I'm going to choose a screenshot that I did earlier last week, which it was just a picture of what we would glue down in class. That's all it is. I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. These kids cannot handle it to be too fancy. So there we have it. There's that. They're going to have to go in, and if I put in text box, I'm typing in it, and they can't edit that. What I want is the title placeholder. So I'm going to put in a title placeholder text box, and that's where they can go in and add text to it. And I'm going to make it permanent marker, and I'm going to make the font, where's it going to go bigger? Like that. So if they were to type here, I can't type here. See, it won't let me type there because I'm in master mode. But if they were to type here, it would edit and save it on theirs. So there they have it. So that's the cover. Do I know what's going to go in it? No. I think I'm going to use the kit that I got off TBT, the Science Journal. And I do love Reagan Tunsil's Science Interactive Notebook stuff. And I have all of them except the first one. And I've never bought the first one because I already own this kit here, which is by A Dab of Blue Will Do. I already own this. I will link it. I'm going to be linking a lot in this video. And it's got tons and tons of like introduction to science. So I know my district is doing like virtual scientists use their senses, and so let's use our senses to, I think the first ones are hearing and seeing, but I might do hear. We're not going to be able to do taste. I don't know. I like these circle charts, and so I wanted to put something like this in there, but I'm going to have to spin it. And if I put it in as a background, it will not let me edit it. So I think what I can do, let me see, Shift Command 4. think I can take a screenshot. You can click on the screenshot. I think I can rotate my screenshot. Boom. Done. And then now I think if on this page I choose to put it in the background, choose image, browse, and if you don't have a Mac and you don't know how to do screenshot, it's just the snipping tool. And it works just the same as doing Shift Command 4 on a Mac. See, and it flipped it, so I'm gonna have to do it something else. Let's see. Let me try that again. Maybe it didn't save my screenshot because I know I flipped it. See, it's flipped here, but when I put it in, it automatically turns it. So, boo, because then you can't edit it to do that. I could just put it in myself. So I'm going to put a shape in. I'm going to put a circle. And I might put some text up here about how scientists use their senses. So, but that circle, I don't want it gray, I want it white. And I want the line to be a little thicker. That works. And I'm going to put a smaller one in the middle, just like it is in that example. Ooh, no, that's not the middle. Move over. There we go. Again, I don't want it there. I don't want that line to be a little thicker. So in the middle of that, I'm going to put a text. And it's going to be the word here. And it's going to be Tropic Sands here. That's too small. Let's make you bigger. Okay. So yeah, I think I'll probably put text up here to talk to them about what on earth this is. But let me show you what it looks like. So for them, this is what they see. Now I'm not in Master View anymore. This is what they'll see. They'll write their name right here. See, now I can click on it. They'll write their name right here. And then I will train them to go in and add a new slide. Oops. And they'll click on the slide that I want them to add. So like, this one will be the next slide. So they click on the down arrow and there's the next slide. And I'll fill this up with slides. So when we're in the master view, this thing eventually will be full of slides I've added, and I can add them at any time. So let's say I'm thinking of something that might not pertain until I teach them about light, and maybe that's way down the line. I can put that way down the line, and it will not show up over here until I tell them. So now that they are not in, now that they're in regular view, that's what shows up. I hope that makes sense. So I can go in now to my math one. I know I want to do an interactive notebook activity for 3D shapes, and I'm going to have to train my kiddos how to do that. And they did so well on the interactive notebook. This one, I'm pretty sure I showed you guys. They did so well on it. Now I want to add a new page to it. So I think I'm going to do a 3D shapes. I think I'm going to try to keep it simple. Let me see what I've got. I don't want to do that. I could do something like that where they have to shade 2D shapes and 3D shapes. That's almost like the sorting that we're going to do. That would be good for the end of the week. Okay, so I don't like that. Let me see. That's something different. This is white and white. Let me see if I can find the practice pages. Craig & Tencel has so many good things. If not, I know I've got some. I brought my folders home, so I may just have to find something and then scan it in when I get to work on Monday. I really don't want to do that. Let me see what practice pages we have. Come on. Well, look at that. We can do that one because we did this one. The problem with doing this one is I would need to cut all of these little pieces and put them in individually for them to sort. I could do this and then just give them the option to circle. I kind of like that one on the top. Now we're getting into equal and unequal, and then more sorting. 2D, oh, that's faces. Ooh, that's good. 3D figure data. So we could do this one together. But I kind of like that because that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow with the anchor chart. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to do Shift Command 4. And I'm going to drag it. It takes a picture. Now when I go in here, I click background. You again can just do the snipping tool. Every computer has it. So just do snipping tool. There it is on my screenshots when I pull up the background. And done. Now what I'll need to do is I will need to go ahead and put like a text box here for them. Again, I can't put this regular text box. I have to do a placeholder. So I'm just going to do body text placeholder. I think that is the right size. Oh no, I don't want that. So I want maybe subtitle placeholder. I don't want it to be too big. That's all right. I'm gonna do it Comic Sans, and it does need to be fairly big because they're going to be. Oh, I hate that. Wish it didn't do that. That's a downfall because I could just do this normally in a Google slide and have them turn it in. I hate that. Maybe I'll shrink it back down. So there's that. Now I can just click on the box, copy it, I'm going to paste it, and I'm just going to start dragging all the boxes where this is where they're going to edit. So I'm going to put them where they go. This is going to take me a minute, so bear with me. I will try to speed this part up in when I edit. Okay, so let me show you what I did just there, just to make that faster. And it's not lined up perfectly, but you know, it's decent. So I just highlighted all three of those text boxes. I copied that, and when I went to go paste, it pasted all three because I copied all three. So it was a lot easier. So there we go. So they have that, and they have that. So now, what they see, because they've already added this page, they should have their name on the front. Now I'll tell them, okay, you guys, we're going to go up to the arrow, and you're going to click this one. And see, there it has that. And we will do this page together. I have high hopes that they will be able to do this. High hopes. So there's my interactive notebook done. Now I need to, I'm going to go ahead and stick with math so that I'm going to stick with math so that I continue to get that one done. I know that I needed something, I circled it for the equal shares. I thought I saw something. I could do the pizza, which they could just draw themselves. I saw, oh, here we go, equal, unequal. Partition the shapes with equal parts. Partition these shapes with unequal parts. So we could do that. Let's do that. Oops. Shift Command 4. Take a screenshot. Boom, and put that in. So that'll go there. It's going to go in the background so that they can't mess with it. That's the whole purpose of putting them in the background, taking the screenshot and putting them in the background. Because then they can't mess with it. Done. And I will show them how to click on that. And then if this one doesn't work, if I don't feel like this one's going to work, I will probably print it and just give it to them. And then my kids at home might get this digital version. But this way, I'm just trying to make sure it's equal for all of my students. So there's my activity for Thursday. And then Friday, I think we're going to be setting up math centers, and we're going to spend some time reviewing while they're in math centers. So I think that'll work. But plus also that gives me time to work on math centers. So now I will add the math notebook into our Canvas, which again, right now I cannot show you. I can just videotape it from my phone at a later date. So I'll show you those this week in the Canvas. Science I still have to figure out. I'm kind of exhausted. It is 10 o'clock here. So let me go on into, so writing is good because we're going to we're using our notebooks, our regular notebook. I am going to try to make an interactive journal for them so that they have just like writing paper and they can type. But I want to kind of think about that before I go in and make it. Phonics. Phonics. Okay, so I know I'm doing short vowel sounds. And let me say this. So one of the things that I did this morning was I just wrote down on the back of that planning page all of the resources that I normally use to see what I could do to make them digital. The resources that I can make digital are the things that I have from like Tweet Resources, which is, I really hope this is helpful for you guys, but it is, I don't even know if they're in here right now. I save them, but I don't remember ever where I save stuff. And as much as I have it, like, there it is. So it's like this stuff here. This is all Tweet Resources. So I just went in a little while ago and I pulled up my short A, which for some reason is not here. So I need to go in and do that. Look at that. I have all these short O activities, short vowel passages. Ooh, I need to pull that up. That's from Teaching is a Royal Adventure, I think. CVC word work there. I could make a lot of these digital. So I just made a list of things I could make digital. I already have the digital word work. I am going to do that. I think that's this right here. So this is what I think I'm going to do for my test on Friday. Is it already up? Yeah. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to give them this, and then they will have to drag the letters. Easy peasy. I think that'll work. And then this is from Keeping Up with Mrs. Harris. She made her adaptive binders digital. But again, this is all the at ones. So I think I'm going to introduce it and teach them how to do it with this one because they're so familiar with it. And then this is going to go in one of their centers on my canvas. Because she's got one for all of the word families. I think I put those in right here. Anytime I take a screenshot, it goes directly to my desktop, so I always have to go through and clean this up. Because then my computer decides that it doesn't want to click open anything, which is no good, like it's doing now. So there it goes. So like add, ag, an, app. Obviously, they're not going to get to all of these. I'll do the ones that I think are going to be more beneficial for them, and then I'll just see what their DSA says, and I may have to repeat the word filling. And then also I went in and pulled the decodable books from my district up, and I printed one. I don't think it printed correctly. I should have printed it in grayscale because it's kind of funny. So it might have printed correctly. Did it so that I could copy it? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. It printed funny. So maybe it printed okay, but I just printed. I printed Dan and Nan. That one right there. It's just the first one in our series. I could just give the kids this book. In fact, I know I could put it in the Smart Learning Suite. Let's see. New. Yeah, so our district, we have Smart Learning Suite. So I could put it in there. And then they would just have to connect and do it, but that might just be too much for their little brains right now. What I would want is just to print it and give it to them, and then have my kids at home do it digitally. So I may just do that, because I love giving them actual decodable books that they could put in their book boxes. So I think I'm just going to do that and keep that digital. So that's Thursday. They're going to do a decodable text. And then I'll just make the ones at home digital for my babies at home. Wednesday, it's making words, and my friends at home are going to use the website. In fact, all of my kids might use the website. I may not mess with the letters just yet. And Tuesday is a picture sort. I always like to do picture sorts on Tuesdays. I don't know what it is. So, and no, I got one of those. Open recent. So I found this one on TPT. It's digital. I'm going to upload it to our Google. I'm only going to do the picture sort. I'm not going to do the word sort. So they're just going to do the first 3 slides in Canvas for me. So I'll upload that for them. And then that's it. Reading is all together. It's all interactive together. So making like big ink charts, reading the story, that sort of thing. Phonics is done. Writing is going to be using their notebooks. Math I've done. And science is my headache. So I'm going to go in and try to find some like fun science stuff for them. I want to do STEM, but it was so difficult to do some of the STEM stuff last week. They just didn't get it. The penny experiment was a big old fat flop. So I'm going to have to come up with something else. And then I'm going to just start printing centers for them. So I printed several of these Write and Wipe centers from Reagan Tunstall. And I will laminate what I need to, and the rest of them are going to go into wipeable things that I can clean, and then I can pass those out during center time. So that was the plan. And I'm going to put this in for centers too. So they'll have boxes above it to write the word to match it. But then I found the other thing. Where is it? Oh, my documents file is such a mess. Every year I just add more and more and more and more, and then I never pay attention. Where is it? Short vowels. So I have this one, and I have the passages. I know what the passages are. I don't think I can do those digitally very well. Digital word short. That's the thing I just showed you. This is the puzzles. They have to print those. I love those. But again, that's something that has to be printed. And if I've got 10 babies at home and 10 in the classroom, or 8 babies at home and 10 in the classroom, however it gets worked out, then I'm going to have to plan a whole lot better and try to get stuff delivered to families if I want them to do any paper activities, because you can't depend on them to have printers at home. So with that being said, let me go back over to my phone and I will visit with you guys. With that being said, it is now almost 10:30. I'm going to not get this video up tonight because that would take forever, and I'm still working on pulling my other video down, putting it up fixed, which probably will take forever. I hate that happened. Let me see how much progress. It's only halfway done. So I'm going to go ahead and go to bed. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. I hope that this Plan With Me video was helpful. I will try to plan more so you can see more weeks. Or at least show you a little bit more. Maybe not plan with me, but maybe show you a little bit more of the plans. And I'll just see you guys next time. Bye.